One of the reasons why I love WordPress so much is because of its extensibility. Because if you want to expand the functionality of your website somehow, you will most likely find a plugin that will match your needs. But how do you install a plugin, and more importantly, where can you find those plugins? To answer to these questions, I created this video for you. So keep watching because this video is packed with great information. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start your engines. Hey, what's up? This is Timo from Online Builder Guy, helping you to make most out of WordPress. So if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And also click on the notification bell to get information about the latest content that I publish on this channel. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so you have two types of plugins that you can download. Some of the plugins are free and that's really nice. And you will also find premium plugins. But for instance, in the case of WP Forms, which is a contact form plugin for WordPress, so the version that you can find in the repository is free to download. This is a light version of this plugin, meaning that it offers certain set of functionalities for free. But when you go to WP Forms website, you will notice that they do offer 4 different pricing plans. So WP Forms also has a premium version of their plugin. Now, when it comes to pricing, this is an example of a recurring fee. So you will have to pay for the plugin every year. This is a subscription-based plugin. There are obviously plugins which you have to pay once, so that's another example of a premium plugin. But in this particular case, you have to pay a recurring fee in order to use the plugin. I have one tip related to pricing, and timing matters a lot, meaning with the right timing you can save a lot of money with your purchase. So for instance, this blog post is from Elementor's blog, and they published this post before the Black Friday / Cyber Monday period last year. And as you can see that they had these big discounts related to their products. So if you are about to purchase a plugin, let's say it's November, so maybe you could wait just a little bit so that you can see if your particular plugin vendor is offering any discounts. With this particular tip, I have saved a great deal of money, and it's not just related to plugins. You can get great deals on hosting or WordPress themes. So this particular period at the end of November is a great time for saving a lot of money. So just wanted to bring this up. So if it's ever possible, try to delay your purchasing a little bit and take advantage of these hefty discounts if they are available. Adding a plugin through your WordPress admin panel is a very straightforward thing to do. So all you have to do is go to plugins and then click add new, and I have already entered a search term into the search box, duplicate post. And the plugin that we are about to install is called Yoast Duplicate Post. It's used for cloning posts and pages. So all you have to do is to click this install now button like this, and it takes a while until the installation process finishes, and once the installation is done you will then have to click the activate button. So all you have to do is click twice in order to install a plugin to your WordPress website. Now it says here that you have successfully installed Yoast Duplicate Post, and you then have to scroll down a little bit in order to see this new plugin. It's here at the bottom of the page. And here what will happen next is that you can either click the settings, or you can alternatively go to the settings menu on the left and click duplicate post. It doesn't matter. But this is a very standard process, so once you have installed a plugin, you will most likely have to configure it at least a little bit until you start using it. So let me just click on the settings link here, and then you have all these different settings that you might want to take a look at. I'm not going to go through these settings, these properties what we have here. Maybe I will record a separate video regarding this very plugin, but just letting you know that oftentimes you will have to tweak the plugin a little bit in order to make it fully functional so that you can start using it in your daily work. Another way of adding a plugin to your WordPress website is by downloading a plugin file to your computer. And it's nothing more than just a zip file which contains all the necessary files related to your plugin. You take these steps whenever you are accessing the WordPress plugin repository directly, or if you have purchased a plugin through a vendor's website. In either case, you will have to download a zip file to your computer and then upload it to your WordPress and then activate it. But in this particular case, I'm in the WordPress plugin repository, and I'm about to install a plugin called Image Hover Effects for Gutenberg. And what I have already done is that I have clicked on the download button here, and as you can see that I have a zip file downloaded into my computer. So the next thing to do is to get this file into my WordPress. So how do I do that? Well, let me just go to my WordPress, and when I go to plugins and add new, you can see upload plugin button here at the top. So click on this button, and next the text says that if you have a plugin in a zip format, you may install or update it by uploading it here. So we have a zip file, and let me just click on the choose file button, and I will then locate the file. By default, and I'm using a Mac, but by default all my downloads goes into downloads folder, and in fact it's a very same thing with Windows machines. They also have downloads folder, so you will find your plugin file there, your zip file. So when I click on the file name and click on the open button, and then you will see the plugin file here, and I will then have to click on the install now. So let me do that, and this is going to take a while. And the next screen is the following. So it says unpacking the package, installing the plugin installed successfully. And the next step to do is to activate the plugin, so I will click on the activate plugin button, and what you will see next is that when you have this plugin list, so your newly added plugin is here, so Image Hover Effects block, it's here. Adding new plugins to your WordPress website is not enough. You have to ensure that those plugins are up to date, because with the updates you make sure that you have all the latest security fixes, you have all the latest bug fixes, and they are not going to cause any issues in your website. So that's why you will have to keep all your plugins up to date. But how do you know that a plugin needs an update? Well, when you go to your WordPress admin panel, you will notice that in this particular case, the navigation item plugins has this red balloon and a number. And it means that you have one plugin that needs your attention. You will also notice that you have updates and you have this very same balloon and a number. But let me show you this both ways how you can update a plugin manually. So when I click on the plugins and installed plugins, I will then see that there is GP Premium and there is a newer version of this plugin. So I can just click on the update now link and then my plugin is up to date. Alternatively, when I go to dashboard and updates, I will then see all the plugins that needs my attention. And in this particular case, I only have one plugin that needs updates. So this list is very short. But let's say that you had 10 different plugins that needed updates. Of course, you could just, sorry, let me go back to the plugins page. You could just click on each of the plugins which have this information that there is a newer version available. But I think that this process would be very tedious. So one way to speed things up is by going to dashboard and updates, and then once, and especially if you have a longer list of plugins, all you can do is just click on the select all checkbox and then click on the update plugins. But let me just go back to the previous view. So when I click on the update now, let's see what happens. So let me do that. It says updating and it takes a while, and when this process is finished, so everything should be up to date. And now the plugin is updated, so it's a very simple process. So that's how you update a plugin manually. Next, I'm going to show you how you can do things automatically. There are actually 3 ways to keep your plugins up to date automatically. So when you are on this plugins list page, you will see that here on the right you have enable auto updates. And when you click on this link, let me just do that. So it's enabling, and now it says disable auto updates. So this one particular plugin is automatically taken care of. So that's the way you enable auto updates on a plugin basis. But these 2 other ways of implementing auto updates are much more effective, and let's take a look at them next. These 2 ways are my absolute favorite when it comes to updating plugins. Now, it depends on your situation which solution you implement, because you can't implement both at the same time. You either choose this or that. So let me just show you these options. The first option is provided by my web host, and this could be the case for you as well. So I'm using rocket.net to host my one of my websites, and they have under advanced section in their control panel, they have an option to turn on the auto update plugins. So if I clicked on the toggle button, I would then have my plugins automatically updated by my web host. A very simple, a very elegant solution. This other solution is for those folks whose web host is not providing them auto plugin updates. And in fact, I'm using this very same solution myself because it gives me more control over what gets updated. So in this particular case, when you go to plugins and add new, so enter Easy Updates Manager into the search box. And you will notice that you have Easy Updates Manager as the first search result. In my case, I have already installed and activated this plugin, so I'm not able to show you how the installation process works, but it works the same way as what I showed you earlier in this video, so it's still a very simple thing to do. But what you will then notice is that when you go to plugins and install plugins, is that this section here on the right, automatic updates, it says managed by Easy Updates Manager. So all my plugins are taken care of by this Easy Updates Manager. So this particular text changes here on the right. Now, if you go to dashboard and updates options, you will then be able to access Easy Updates Manager configuration. So here you will see on the first page under the General tab that all the updates are enabled, and especially if you look at the plugin updates, it says enable auto updates. So you will then have all the plugins updated automatically. And if you go to the plugins tab, you will then notice that you will have more control over to what gets updated. You can allow or block plugin updates, and here it says, and I think this is also very important, and I will talk about this later in this video, but it also suggests that maybe I should get rid of certain plugins because they are not active, but we will get into that later. But anyways, this particular plugin, Easy Updates Manager, is a great tool for keeping your plugins up to date. So you may want to tweak certain settings if you want to, but I'm pretty much using the standard configuration and everything is automatically updated. One final thing that you want to do is to keep your plugins list as decluttered as possible. So rather than just adding a plugin after a plugin and then deactivating a plugin, you will eventually notice that you have a long list of plugins in your WordPress. But the main benefit of keeping this particular list decluttered is that you are lowering any risks related to bugs or security. So from time to time, take a look at this list and decide which plugins you want to get rid of. And removing a plugin is a very simple thing to do. For instance, in this particular case, image hover effects block. So it says deactivate. It means that this plugin is actually active on my website. But let's say that I do not need this plugin anymore. So first I will click on the deactivate link, and next I will notice that let me just find this plugin again. So here we go. So now you notice that you have delete link visible. So choose on this very plugin by clicking on the checkbox and then click delete. And when I click delete, you will notice that there is a text saying, are you sure you want to delete image hover effects block? And I'm sure, so let me just click OK, and it says deleting and it's gone. If you have many plugins that you want to get rid of, there is a more efficient way of doing this. So when you are on your plugins list page, go to the inactive tab. So when you click that, you will see the list of the plugins that you are not currently using. So what you will then do is that you will click on this checkbox before the plugin column name, and all these plugins are then selected. and in the bulk actions menu, choose the delete option and click apply. And here is what is going to happen next. So all these inactive plugins are deleted one by one. So it's a very simple and very efficient process, and this is the way you actually remove unused plugins in your WordPress. In this video, I showed you how to work with WordPress plugins. You also learned that plugins are a powerful yet a simple way to expand the functionality of your WordPress website. But now that you have all this plugin information under your belt, which plugin are you going to install next? Or what is your favorite plugin? Please share your answers in the comment box below. Click the like button if you liked what you saw, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great videos. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.